Renowned as one of the leading painters of the Victorian era, William Etty (1787–1849) left an indelible mark on the art world with his captivating works. From his pioneering explorations of the human form to his daring narratives, Etty's contributions to the 19th-century art scene are unparalleled. In Etty's painting titled, "Male Nude with Arms Upstretched," the central figure assumes a posture reminiscent of collapse. The curvature of his back suggests a gradual descent down the wall. His outstretched arms emphasize the sinuous line of his spine, suspended by ropes delicately looped around his wrists. Etty's choice of male models was diverse, with some discovered in the vibrant atmosphere of the Turkish baths and others recruited from the nearby barracks, particularly among the lifeguardsmen. Legend has it that these male models were like a radiant source of joy in the often dreary fog of London. When Etty eventually returned to York, they bid him a melancholy farewell, underscoring the significant connection he shared with them. There's a palpable suggestion that Etty was deeply ingrained in the LGBT community of his time. The painting, with its subtle undertones of sadomasochism, captures a young man in a pose that could be interpreted as softcore. The figure is depicted slouched, arms raised, and back slightly arched against a backdrop of soft white material. Knees bent beneath him, and hands suspended above his head, delicately cradled by blood-red ropes, evoke a sense of both vulnerability and sensuality. In this composition, Etty not only celebrated the male form, but also hinted at the complexity and nuances of relationships within a community that provided him solace amidst the challenges of city life. These supportive ropes, reminiscent of similar arrangements in the life class, as seen in Johann Zoffani's The Academicians of the Royal Academy, 1771–72, allowed models to sustain challenging poses without fatigue, facilitating uninterrupted work for the artist. The origin of the model's pose remains ambiguous, yet it strongly resonates with depictions of Christ's descent during scenes of his deposition. The bent legs, extended abdomen, and elevated arms in Etty's nude evoke the imagery of Christ gently lowered from the cross and enveloped in a white linen shroud, suggested here by the fabric seemingly catching the model's fall. This composition exudes a more unrestrained quality compared to Etty's meticulously finished life-class studies, such as Male Nude lying on a shroud. Etty, renowned for his mastery of flesh tones and the tangible quality of his figures, earned widespread admiration. A reviewer went so far as to proclaim him the preeminent colorist of the English school, asserting that no living artist could capture the essence of flesh quite like Etty. His particular penchant for exploring contrasts in skin tones became a hallmark of his artistic prowess. His technique was a meticulous process. Initially, Etty would sketch with white chalk or charcoal, laying the foundation for his composition. Then, he applied a base color, carefully choosing one or, at most, two hues. Notably, his notes reveal a deliberate method of allowing lower layers to peek through by employing a technique called scumbling. Using his thumb, he selectively removed part of the uppermost layer or layers, imbuing the depiction with a sense of depth and corporeality. For this specific work, Etty opted for oil on millboard as his canvas. The application of paint was marked by soft strokes, eschewing precision for a more organic and expressive quality. The result was a testament to Etty's skill in manipulating color and form to breathe life into his subjects. Noteworthy is the intentional omission of details, with the model's right foot rendered with swift strokes of flesh-toned paint, and the left hand, cast in deep shadow, reduced to strategically placed dabs. Etty's tendency to leave certain elements incomplete, particularly neglecting the refinement of feet and hands or concealing them beneath drapery, is a recurring trait in his nude studies. Male Nude with Arms Upstretched continues to be one of Etty's most popular works and is now part of the collection of York Art Gallery.